All right, we'll just tighten down these things. All right, yeah, that one's nice and tight, and we'll just, come on. All right, that's stripped. All right, so it's bound to happen eventually to you that this plate or something similar to this, it might look like this, it might look like that, or on some older machines, it might just be one of these little guys. But eventually, someone will over tighten and these little threads will strip out. So it's pretty easy to swap them out, especially if you have a jack that you can put the machine up on. Pop the old one out, pop the new one in. But one of the things I like to do is I don't just pop the old one out and pop the new one in and screw it all in place and then put the leg on. I'll show you kind of how I like to do it. And this helps it so that it sort of aligns properly. Okay, so usually I just put the jack, if you don't have a jack, but you have some sawhorses or something that you can put the legs on and then hold it up so that you can take the legs off without the back falling down onto your head. Great. Okay, down in here, there's your bracket. This one has 6 little screw guys to hold it in place. This is really hard to film. But just take those guys out. Pretty straightforward. Okay, we got the screws out. So then usually you have to give this a little bit of that to pop it off. Okay, I don't have a tripod that I can use for this, and I absolutely can't do this one-handed holding the camera, so I'm going to explain what I'm doing. So I've got the other bracket out. I put a bolt in, put the leg on, put the bolt through. This is the new bracket. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in there, I'm going to put this in place, and I'm going to screw this bolt into it, not super tight. Then I'm going to add the second bolt, and then I'll make sure that this is sitting nice and snug in the corner where I need it to be, and then I'll tighten these down. Once I do that, then I'll put these screws in to hold it in place. Now the reason I do that is because I've put these in by themselves without adding the bolts. I just, take the one bracket out, you put the other bracket in, and maybe it would be sitting, they're designed to sit in corners, but maybe it's sitting a little bit off this way. And you've got it all screwed in there, and maybe the screw holes from this plate is different from the other plate, and so it doesn't sit quite nicely. So that's why I like to get it attached in place before I secure it in with the 6 screws on the side. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to do that off camera because I can't do it on camera. Okay, so I've got the 2 leg bolts in, and that is sitting nice and flush. And then if we go outside, this leg is sitting exactly where I need it to be sitting. It's not skewed, the bolt's going in straight. Perfect. And got the screws back in to hold it in place. So perfect. We got that one done, and the one over there is done. Okay, so it seems like kind of a simple thing. You're just putting this new bracket on the back. But one of the machines, I had to do all 4 of them. And I just took the bracket off inside and I put the new one on there, screwed it in place. And then a couple of the legs, when I went to put the legs on, the screws weren't lining up. Or the leg bolts weren't lining up. So I had to go back in there, loosen the screws, and then I would tighten down the leg bolts and then redo the screws. So it was just sort of an extra 10 or 15 minutes of me dinking around doing something that seems pretty straightforward. And going, why am I having such a problem with this stupid thing? So that's the way I like to do it now, is take the screws off, take the old bracket out, put the new bracket in, put the leg bolts in, then screw it down once it's all seated, easy for me to say, once it's all seated in there nicely. So super simple, straightforward, quick video from me for once. Yeah, so Star Trek Next Generation. Just getting some things finalized on that, and it'll be on the floor pretty soon.